All right, y'all. It's Black Balloon, man. We back with another video. Y'all already know what's going on. All right. Now, look, y'all. I had to kind of circle back around to this topic, right? As far as everything that's been going on in the industry with all these, you know, snitching allegations and things resurfacing about music being bought, number one albums being bought, number one on the Billboard being bought, bundles being bought in order to outdo other artists. Now, this comes from one of those jail call leaks where Young Thug was talking to his manager about buying bots basically in order to outdo his own artist, Gunna, when he was thinking about dropping an album the same day Gunna dropped back in 2023. The album was called A Gift and a Curse.
You know, when he did his 2 album deal with me, Cash called me one day like, "Hey, what the hell going on with Gunna? Who's speaking for him?" I'm like, "Why?" Like, "Oh, I'm net. You know, he trying to get signed right here with Weekend signed it, and he demanded he want 20 million. Whoa. So I already done told him like, whatever you want, just say it. I'm gonna give you the money, whatever you want. Just on some we brother shit. Like nigga, I know you can't go nowhere in this world and get no $20 million check from no label. You're not doing numbers like that. You alright, but you ain't doing that like that. You know, like the number one album you just had right now. I paid for you to have a number one album. You didn't. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, earn a number one album over the weekend, my boy. I paid for that shit. I never said that to him. I never told him that. You know, 'cause we just got the plug on that. Like, you never earned a number one album. I spent 50 extra grand buying motherfucking streams, $50,000 buying streams for you to be weak.
Obviously, Thug didn't end up dropping the same day, but it brought the topic back around of the industry being rigged, fake, and a lot of the top artists not having genuine, listeners. They don't have genuine number ones. A lot of this stuff is bought, purchased, bots, or purchased by the thousands to boost up these artists. A lot of the times it happens with industry plants. A lot of these people are fabricated and, you know, put into the industry. And that's just what it is. Everything is fabricated. And what really made me want to do this video, I had saw a clip that academics posted of 6ix9ine exposing all this stuff back in 2020. Y'all know he went crazy on a rant because Billboard was taking views away from him so other artists who purchased their number ones could sit on top of the Billboard, right? I was like, we got to cover this again because it goes back to what these artists are willing to do. They willing to sell their soul just to get into the industry when other artists or even, their team is fabricating everything that they're about. Number one, their image is already a lie. Like in one of the lives, Takashi was talking about Future. And, he was talking about how Future rap about drugs, Molly, Percocet, and all this crazy stuff, but he's never been arrested for a drug charge ever in his life. And this is what 6ix9ine was saying. And Future has even said he don't even do the drugs that he talks about. He just ruining kids' minds, making people go take Molly's and Percocets while listening to his music. And the one that's making the music, he doesn't even do drugs at all. I mean, Future comes from a music background all the way back to the Dungeon family. He's been just joined in, like he's been connected. It just goes to show you the facade that these rappers live while at the same time penetrating young minds and making these younger kids do whatever for music and to get into the industry when you will never have the things that these rappers have because they're being bought, they're being purchased. Their lifestyle is bought, purchased, everything is fake, nothing is real. Even them going number one sometimes on the Billboard charts is not real. We're going to go ahead and take a few, looks at some of this old stuff 6ix9ine was talking about. And then I also want to play a short clip of him talking about Desiree Perez. Now, this goes back to Roc Nation and Jay-Z because of all the snitching stuff that's been going on. They've been talking about this as well because, a lot of these artists say, they this and that, they in the streets, they don't snitch. But Jay-Z, you know, she's part owner, co-founder of Roc Nation, and she is a well-known informant. And she is also behind the whole Tory Lanez situation with Jay-Z and Roc Nation and what they did to him, with the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing. It's just this industry is just crazy, y'all. And the truth is just unfolding more and more, even with all this stuff going on with Young Thug and Gunna and all this other crazy shit. It's just making a bunch of other stories unfold, right? So with that being said, y'all, we'll check out a little bit of this and we'll come back in a second. Check this out, y'all.
Facts. Hear it. This industry is not what it seems to be. Listen, this is a rapper. You got 200 followers. I bet you there's rappers in here right now that can rap way better than me. You can rap way better than me. You will never be where I'm at because this industry is rigged. It's rigged. I'm telling you.
Why you keep saying that? You said that a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's rigged. It's paid for. It's this. It's that. You're a young artist. You coming up. You're believing in this dream that they're selling you. It's not. Explain it. Explain it for me. I kind of get it. But like for somebody right now, that dream is gonna be what pushes them to the next level.
I'm telling you this right now. And I always go back to this NBA YoungBoy. Who we love. NBA YoungBoy is supposed to be bigger than he is right now. He's not commercialized. He's not commercialized.
One of the most.
So you throw Roddy Ricch in there, which is commercialized, right? You will throw Roddy Ricch in there because Roddy Ricch, but you don't get into beefs. You're not really that street. You're from the street. You're from Compton, right? You really are not doing too much, and you have good music. NBA YoungBoy, you're good. You're just too street. They navigate it. They throw. Yo, hear me out when I tell you. I speak facts. I'm in the industry.
You're not lying. It's also rigged in that way as well, based on who they can push. They don't really care who you are. If they can like massage your image to the fans and you're not too hardcore, basically saying that if you will allow us to hit you, in the part that stink, then we good. We'll go ahead and push you. That's really what he was saying. But check this out right here. This goes more into how Ariana Grande team used 6 credit cards to purchase over 30,000 album sales to go #1 over Tekashi. Check this out, y'all. It's funny that Drake actually liked this post. This post was from this morning. So check this out. But it's old footage though. Check it out though.
You can buy #1s on Billboard. I want that to register in your head. You can buy #1s on Billboard. Now let me tell you what happened. We was having an ongoing investigation just now. Silvio from Billboard, right? There's like probably 5 or 6 of them that come up with the charts with Nielsen and everything. Last Thursday, Ariana Was Stuck With You submitted 60,000 units last second. With the investigation, we found this. They purchased half of those things with 6 credit cards. When we asked where was those 6 credit cards linked to, Billboard said we can't disclose that information. Understand this. They bought 30,000 and so units with 6 credit cards. 6 credit cards. Now, again, you're going to enjoy your #1. Explain how you buy 30,000 with 6 credit cards, right? Now let me explain to you something. They don't want, Billboard doesn't want no one to know this. Now I understand why Jay-Z and Nicki Minaj say Billboard, like we used to look up to #1, to Billboard, but now it's like we know it's all manipulated, right? It's all fabricated. You can buy #1s. This is what these artists do, right? And it's not fair. I want you to see this. Gooba streamed 50 million streams, and this is what they're counting only, 50 million streams, right? They only counted, look what Billboard counts. They only counted 31 million. Billboard illegally disqualified 20 million streams so it can drop down, and the people who bought the #1 which was Stuck With You, can go to number one. Look at this. 31 million, which places us at 38 points. When in fifth place, you were stuck at 32 points. 6 credit cards buys you 36 credit. Listen, you can buy number ones on Billboard. I'm letting you know that. We just did a whole investigation, and their best answer was, we can't disclose that information. Now, Billboard, if you want to explain to all the hard-working artists out there, the hard-working artists that, and established artists at that, because there's a lot of established artists right now that don't get number ones and don't understand why. It's like looking at an apple, right? An apple sometimes is most likely red, right? There's green apples, but just look at this. There's apples that are red, right? And you're looking at an apple, and this is what we did with Billboard. Yo, explain how you deduct. If there's 50 million streams, right, on Google, why only count 30 million, right? So it's like looking at an apple and say, I'm obviously looking at you and you're red, but you're not, but you're telling us it's not red. You got caught cheating red-handed, right?
Now, that's crazy. You know, regardless of all the stuff, you know, the antics 6ix9ine has done, everything he's saying right here throughout these clips is facts for sure. For sure. You know, we kind of had an idea of them buying streams and bots and stuff like that, but he really took it to another level in this time. This was back in 2020, 2021. He really took it to another level. You know, now he don't even really do rap music or pretty much in the rap game like that anymore. You know, he more sticking to his side and where, you know, where his music really hits and really gets him paid at. This was real. This really exposed what the industry is made of. I mean, even all the way back before streaming existed, you know, it was buying the DJ, buying the radio spins. You know, it was more heavy on the promotion. Nowadays, with streaming and the way music is done, it's done in a way that you won't be able to notice it now. Really, back then, you wouldn't notice it either with them buying physical people. Like the DJs at the radio station, they ain't gonna play your shit if the label done paid them 20 racks to just keep playing this song over and over and over, and next thing you know, that's all you can think of. That's just how it goes. Now they can, you know, just come up with these different kind of little schemes, and now their artist is sitting at the top of the billboards, and people wondering how when no one is playing the music. Is because they purchased it. Said they used 6 credit cards in order to you know, boost their artists up. And y'all remember 6ix9ine, man, he was going crazy on everybody. Future, Meek Mill, Dirk and Von, saying Dirk sacrificed Von. I know y'all remember that. I don't even really have to play the clip because I want to get into Desiree Perez. I don't know if this is a woman or a man. I'm not sure. Y'all let me know. I don't know. But she's the chief executive officer and the co-founder of Roc Nation, right? So check this out, what he talks about with Desiree Perez, and this will give y'all a little backstory on where she came from, how she got, you know, this informant thing going on, and she's with Jay-Z and Roc Nation. They're behind Tory Lanez. All this shit is real. All this shit is crazy, bro. Check this out, y'all.
Became a cooperating witness for the DEA in the 1990s after her 1994 arrest for possession of 35 kilos of cocaine. Perez struck a deal with the feds, agreeing to wear a hidden wire to record her meetings with major cocaine traffickers, the cartel. Her undercover informant work won her courtroom praise for federal prosecutors, as did mine, after she helped them break up major drug dealers in Puerto Rico and Colombia. So I don't live, right? The live is being paused. You see Meek Mill right here with Desiree Perez, right? She's part of his bail with Jay-Z. This part of Roc Nation, right? She's a executive at Roc Nation. But then you go saying, yo, listen, we don't fuck with rats. Your executive is a rat. So you pick and choose? Because if you don't want to be around rats completely, you're with a rat right there. She cooperated for the DEA. Meek Mill, you can't pick and choose who you want to call rats. You can't say this is fake. This is on public information. This was on the New York, on the New York Times. What are you gonna say? No, I didn't know. You know, sir. You know. You just can't chart. Ever since Nicki left you, you are a nobody. Listen, Nicki took you on tour. You were her opener. Nicki made you you.
Now, this stuff we all know. Obviously, this was going back to that beef with Meek Mill, Tekashi 6ix9ine, back when Drake was all in it, all that good stuff, right? But what he really exposed was Desiree Perez and basically the shady dealings that goes on in the industry because one, it's ran by shady people to begin with. And everybody knows this. Title of this video on Real Life Street Productions, D Haven talks about Jay-Z Fed friend Desiree Perez is a fixer for celebs, and Jay-Z even possibly being a Fed informant. This is just what it is. Caught with kilos. Wore a wire. And I more wanted to talk about it because it goes back to the whole Tory Lane thing and what they've done with his case, sticking that 10 years on him. And if I'm not mistaken, academics just did a deposition with a bunch of lawyers from Roc Nation where, they were talking about a bunch of different stuff that had to do with Tory Lane's case. And I haven't watched much of it. I probably have to, it's a really long video he put out, but there's like a specific section where they really get into, the meat and potatoes of the topic. And it's all corruption, bro. It's all corruption. Roc Nation and Jay-Z, controlling the Super Bowl halftime shows. I mean, they've become very powerful. They've become very powerful, doing a lot of undercutting in the industry, and it's just it's full of bull, man. But the topic of the convo was mostly this, and the fact that these artists do anything they can to get into this industry, and it's all rigged. It is all fake. It's 2025 and things are still unraveling. It will be exposed. The curtains, will be lifted. The blinders will be lifted. It will be exposed. And I'm just sitting back watching, reporting on a few things, you know. I just thought this was an interesting topic to bring around, man. Industry is rigged. I don't know, maybe that'll be the title of the video. All caps. Like 6ix9ine said, it boy be yelling in the phone. But all right, y'all. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here, man. Y'all know I just want to get on here and talk about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this stuff in the comments. Anything crazy, pops up, I feel like we should talk about again. We'll definitely get a video going on it. All right. That being said, y'all, it's Black Balloon, and I'm gonna see y'all soon. All right. I'm out.